That's totally gonna be the thumbnail.
Are we on? Yes! Oh, oopsie. Our hair is, I'm just gonna follow Zane's lead here and have my hair swooped over like this.
Gotta swoop it.
Is that a good look? Bring over the tomatoes.
Oh.
So
what tomatoes? These tomatoes? These the ones you're talking about?
Oh my gosh. So, welcome to Q&A Thursday. We'll wait for people to roll in.
Those tomatoes are from Mom and Dad, courtesy of the organic farm, and they are delicious.
Yeah. Mama Love Chard gave us those tomatoes.
So, hashtag thanks, Mom.
Hashtag thanks, Mom. Mama Love Chard gave those to us last time we were home this past weekend when we were back in Nebraska. Hi, Shannon. Holla.
Hey, Shannon.
Sorry about our GQ hair today. Jeez. Is that what it's called?
Sorry. Yeah.
All right. Welcome to Q&A Thursday. I'm just going to pull up here the questions that rolled in for today. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
We got a few.
We got a few, yeah. Hopefully we'll be able to get to all of them today. We're just going to do a 10-minute video today for Q&A Thursday, and then we'll be back on next week. So we'll probably be back on, or one of us will be back on before that. But Jessica says, the picture on your cover photo in the Love Chart community group here, how do you get your hair to do that? Only half kidding. Honestly, I have no idea how I did that day. I've been trying to recreate that hairstyle for a long time now, and it's not working out too well.
If anybody wants to know, I can tell them exactly how I do this every morning. I mean, this isn't by mistake.
Nobody asked about your hair, jeez.
This is not a mistake, okay?
Meredith said, you have a tattoo? Yes, because in my Q&A picture, I had my new tattoo showing. So I got this in California a couple weeks ago. It means create your own reality. I guess that's the Viking term for it. One of the reasons I got it, one of my good friends had just passed while I was on that vacation. And he was a big part of the whole food plant-based movement. His name is Bill Crafso. And great guy. And so this day 2 of my vacation in California with my best friend, I found out that he had passed away. So I kind of got this tattoo in honor of him as well, and for me and for our family and for my clients and for you guys here in the Love Chart community, like, keep going forward, go for your dreams, create your own reality. Like, you guys can achieve anything that you want to with your health, your nutrition, you know, creating your ideal, most optimal health and life. And so, so that's why I got that. It's pointing forward. It's always pointing me forward, having me keep going. So, so yes, that's the story behind my tattoo. I have a couple others too that I might show you sometime, but do you have any tattoos? I do not. No, he doesn't.
I do not have any tattoos, no.
Not yet. Emily.
If anybody has any suggestions about what I should get, let me know. I'm all ears. I have no idea. Yeah,
you've been thinking about it for a while, but maybe we'll get something. I want to get something like a leaf or a plant or something somewhere. Something whole food plant-based related, so we'll see. I kind of, you know, once you get if you have tattoos, and you know, once you get one, you kind of like want all of them and want to keep doing them, so I'm itching to get another one, so. Emily asks, what are your thoughts on seitan? Thoughts on TVP, which is textured vegetable protein? Thanks. Awesome question, Emily. So my thoughts on seitan are very closely aligned with how Dr. Furman, Dr. Greger, and a lot of the other whole food plant-based doctors feel about these products. So seitan is, I'm sorry about my hair. It's like all over.
Looks great.
Thank you. So seitan is, it's basically wheat gluten. It's very refined. It's very textured. It's processed. It's made from whole grains, right? It's made from wheat, but it's not in its most whole form. So in regards to seitan, if it's homemade and you're controlling all the ingredients, that would be better than maybe a super processed one that maybe wasn't organic or wasn't, you know, had other fillers or additives in it. So I would just be mindful of not making seitan a staple in your lifestyle. We don't. We've had seitan, you know, here and there, maybe at a vegan restaurant or in a vegan wrap, you know, at a restaurant or out somewhere. But and it's good. It's, you know, it's made from plants again. It's vegan, but it's not necessarily nutritarian in that it's not in its most whole form or close to its whole form. It's pretty processed past that. So I would be mindful of that and not make that a staple. A good alternative to that would be just straight up tofu. You can really make a lot of things that seitan is used for. You can use tofu instead and make like a tofu bacon or a chicken strip or a seasoned, kind of meat-like, thing for a sandwich or a wrap or something like that. So I would suggest doing organic, extra firm tofu instead of processed seitan.
I agree.
The next question, her part two to Emily's question, is thoughts on TVP, which is textured vegetable protein. So TVP is very widely used in the vegan community as a filler and as a something to add to a dish. Again, it's very textured because they're taking the just one part of the plant away. They're only extracting the protein and then they're refining and texturizing that. And it's typically soy is what they do this with. So there's really no need to extract proteins and extract a lot of things from the whole plants and turn it into something else and refine it and process it. We can just stick to the straight whole organic soybeans, or edamame or tofu or tempeh, right? So we don't need to extract the proteins, refine it, turn it into a certain texture, add stuff to it, fluff it up, anything like that. So again, with textured vegetable protein, I don't know that I have ever even had it in my life.
I don't think I've ever had it either, to be honest.
Yeah, I can't think of any time where we would.
I imagine I have, just didn't even know about it.
Yeah, perhaps if it was, at a restaurant or something, but definitely not a staple at the Love Chard headquarters, and isn't widely recommended by any of the whole food plant-based doctors either, since the focus is whole plant-based foods. Next question.
Next.
What did you have something to add to that?
No, I do not. I think that's all you can say about seitan and TVP.
TVP. Yeah, so you'll see it like packaged and sold by like the where is it even sold in stores? Maybe by the coconut flowers and stuff like that, I think, but it's like, it's packaged. My favorite foods don't have packages.
If it's a plant, eat it. If it's made in a plant, don't do it.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Awesome. All right. Crystal shares, watching your guys' interview the other day. I think she's talking about the interview that I posted yesterday. Hi, Tammy. I posted our interview that Matt Jagger did from True Wealth. I posted that in the community group yesterday. So if you scroll, you can see it. It's a big picture that says video interview. But that was an interview that we did around this time last year, actually, like last October, I think, or August maybe.
One of the first interviews we ever did.
Yep.
Back when his business was called Don't Lose the Cow.
Yep, and it's True Wealth now. So I put that link in the community group, so feel free to watch that. I think it's like a 25 or so minute video, just kind of about our transition, our transformation, our journey, and all that. So Crystal says, watching your interview the other day and how you were on board with whole food plant-based before your husband must have been hard, I would think. What motivated you and kept you going the whole time? My husband and I want to go whole food plant-based, and I've made a couple tiny baby steps toward it. I just don't know what'll be that breaking point until I get on board fully. My husband works out of town a lot, so it's lonesome and hard to get self-motivated. I quit smoking over 7 years ago, and that almost seems easier than this. Maybe it's because I had a good metabolism back then and ate what I wanted to with no recourse. Over the years, it's definitely added up. Thanks, guys. So yeah, a couple things. So your first kind of question or topic of discussion, was it hard to live this lifestyle without your husband on board? What motivated you to keep going that whole time, until he was on board? So I think what's really important to sit down and think about is anytime that we want to make a decision or that we have a decision to make, think about what is the outcome. So what do you want? What's really, itching at you? What do you want out of your life? What do you want out of your nutrition? So figure out what you want. What is the outcome? and be super specific about what you want. You know, we can say we want to be thin and happy and healthy. Well, everybody wants to be thin and happy and healthy. Why do you want it? What exactly do you want? Why do you want to feel those things? What do you want to feel exactly? So get specific with what your whys are and what you want your outcome to be. Then it's just a matter of putting steps in place that we can take to get to that outcome, to get to where we want to go. Once we have the whys and the vision, it's very easy to then work backwards and think, okay, so how am I going to get there? What things do I need to put in place? What do I need to do to get there? So when I first transitioned and he wasn't on board yet, it really was all about me. You know, I didn't want to hide behind cardigans anymore. I was like the cardigan queen. I probably had 100 cardigans and I always hid behind them. I avoided looking at myself in the mirror, and all these things kind of ate up at me. You know, I was avoiding something that I didn't want to deal with, and so I kept eating Cheetos and donuts to not deal with me being unhappy with how I looked. So I had very specific whys of why I wanted to do this. I'd been overweight my whole life and I was just sick of it. I wanted to actually feel what it was like to be proud of myself and proud of, you know, hard work in creating a healthier lifestyle. And I had, you know, tons more. There's, if you head to lovechart.com, one of my most recent blog posts, it's entitled, I used to hate how I look and I used to hate vegetables. I list like a ton of different whys about why I was doing this and what set me over the edge to change my lifestyle. So I had so many whys, and that's what kept me going. My vision, my whys, my wanting to get there so bad, I could see it. It was on the horizon. I just had to put those building blocks, those tools, those, you know, forward steps in place to get there. And that's what helped me, because I could see that vision. I could see that at the end. If you don't know why you're doing it, or you don't want to do it, or you really don't have a reason, it's hard to stay motivated. But if you have that reason and you know what the outcome, what you want the outcome to be, use that as your motivation to get there. So that was my, you know, my whys and my vision was my motivation to keep going. And Zane was supportive in his words, I guess. You know, he was always encouraging, you know, if I was going for a run, or if I was, you know, if he could see me lose, you know, visually lose weight, or if I dropped a couple more pounds. He was always very encouraging and stuff as well, but it wasn't until he fully came on board then that we could, you know, we started to do things together.
Right. I've talked a little bit about this from time to time, that I was being supportive, but I wasn't being actively supportive. And for me, you know, it kind of came down to this point where, you know, I started realizing that I wasn't being actively supportive, and I started thinking about what I want most in my life, and it was to take care of my wife for the rest of my life. And how do I do that? How do I work back from that? Well, for me to take care of somebody else, I need to first take care of myself. I need to make sure that I'm right so I can do the same thing to help others, the ones I care about. And so that was the big tipping point for me, is like understanding that I need to fully focus on myself, get myself right, so then I can do what I want most in this life, and then
so put all of his focus on me.
And that's exactly what happened.
And two, one of your, you know, even in me wanting to get him on board too, my outcome in that was, all right, I'm looking forward and I'm seeing, you know, him head in the wrong direction and me head in the right direction of, you know, health and getting healthier, and him heading towards potentially diabetes or, you know, heart attack or stroke or something. And so my outcome was, I don't want to be a young widow. Like, that's definitely not what I want. What I do want, though, what I want my outcome to be is for Zane and I to live so long, so healthful, so happy, you know, into our, you know, be 110 years old and be youthful and fruitful and all this stuff. I wanted to do that together. That was my outcome. And so that's how I, you know, turned to him and said, look, I don't want to be without you. Do you want me to just be by myself and have you pass away from a, you know, food-related disease or illness or something because you didn't take care of yourself and now I'm by myself. Like, is that what you want? So that was kind of the part of the tipping point for him to be like, gosh, I need to be okay so that I can take care of her and so that we can continue to live together. So that was our tipping point, and we'll talk more about that and maybe do like a spouse masterclass series or something of some sort. What else do we have here? She said, so I don't know what the breaking point will be that I'll get on board fully. So I would encourage you to dial into your whys. Why do you want this? Be specific. What's the outcome? And then we can work backwards from there. Because if you don't have any of that and you don't know why you're doing this, or you know you have to but you don't really want to, it's going to be hard. So really dial into what you want, what the outcome to be, what your vision is for yourself and your health. And then you can go forward from there, kind of work backwards.
Yeah, I can say honestly that, when I started, doing this lifestyle change, I don't know if I would have been able to do it by myself. I needed support. And I like what you're saying in here. It's awesome that your husband wants to do this with you. You're both talking about it. You're both together. On the same page with making changes together. What better time than right now when you have a buddy to do it with,
and both of you are interested in moving that direction. So I would encourage you to sit down and talk to each other about what you want for yourself, what you want for your life together. How do you envision this? Do you want to be able to go on hikes and not be tired, or go on trips and not be exhausted? Do you have children that you want to be energetic and enthusiastic and play with and all that? So talk about all those things together. Kind of sit down and think, what do we want? What is our outcome to be, as a family? As a spousal unit.
Right.
Is that right? I don't know. And then she said, I quit smoking over 7.5 years ago. This and that almost seems easier. Congratulations. We were both smokers for so long. I think it was like...
Yeah, I smoked for like...
I don't know, 7 or 8 years or something. We have both been non-smokers for quite some time now. You stopped smoking when you started your transition, so it's been 2 years for you, and it's been like 5 years for me. I quit a while before I changed my food. But so congratulations on that. And I totally can relate to what you're saying with the smoking. It is almost a lot easier. I don't want to say it's easier. It's just different. It's a different type of stopping one thing and creating those new habits. So again, dial into your whys. What's the outcome that you want? What's the vision that you want for yourself? And then work backwards. We just got one come in from Landon, so we'll take care of that, and then we'll let you guys go for the afternoon.
Yeah, Landon says, what is your favorite lazy dinner for nights when you don't feel like doing a lot of cooking/prep? Or what is a meal that you seem to make weekly that would be surprising to your old self? Thank you. Quick meals on a lazy day. It depends on how lazy I'm feeling, really.
Usually we have something in the freezer from prep day. So if we're lucky on a lazy day, and we usually are, we have a lot of soups and mushroom gravies and nacho cheese and stuff, kind of stockpiled in the freezer. So typically, if for me, if I'm being lazy and I don't want to, start from scratch, or I get home from work and I'm tired or whatever, I'm going to reheat up a soup from the freezer. That's typically what I go to, and then cut up some fruit or something, and then get a little bit more ahead on the next prep day.
We do a really good job at prep, so usually most of my meals are pretty lazy day meals because they're all just right there for me.
They're done on prep day.
I can make a huge gourmet salad in like 5 minutes just because it's all right there, right in front of us. So that definitely helps out a lot. I guess a couple like really lazy meals, like for, let's do one for lunch, breakfast, dinner. See, breakfast would be a piece of Ezekiel toast in the toaster. Toast it up, whole sprouted grain, smear some almond butter, chop banana on top of it. Boom.
Raisins,
easy
cinnamon.
Little breakfast. Let's see, dinner. The other day I was feeling lazy for dinner, and I made pizzas, which was super easy because I just turned the oven on. Took some tomato sauce or tomato paste. Just
it might have been hummus too.
Yeah, some hummus. or whatever is made, we just had a bunch of stuff that, leftover stuff in the fridge that I just tossed on a couple
Spinach.
yeah, just
Beans.
whole wheat
Pitas.
pitas, and just threw them in the oven for like I don't know, 15 minutes. Didn't really need to do much,
What I really like too is cold bean and veggie salads. You can put, and these will last all week too, so you can be prepped for you being lazy and I don't want to call anybody lazy, but for one of those days that you just don't want to start from scratch for something.
Everybody's lazy
Yeah.
sometimes.
I love cold bean and veggie salads. So like beans, chickpeas, for example, cucumber, peppers, tomatoes, balsamic vinegar, onions, garlic, all on a dish. I could eat, 4 cups of that at a time.
Usually my lazy meals consist of me just not measuring out everything. So that's like my lazy version, because I like being in the kitchen, so when I'm lazy, my lazy meal is just like throwing it together and not like worrying about like measuring off and like scooping that kind of stuff out, or writing down recipes. We do that a lot. So.
Yeah. And having other things prepped that are in the freezer too, so like, hummus.
Or bring down a soup,
Yeah, bring down a soup.
Heat it up.
I love having hummus all the time in the fridge because I can do so much stuff too, and I can turn that into a cream for black bean noodles, and then open a package of frozen mixed veggies and just put it on a pan and just turn it on.
Yeah, stir fries.
Stir fries, super easy.
Chop like 5 or 6 different veggies.
Don't even chop it. I mean, we're talking lazy.
Do the frozen vegetables.
Get out a bag of frozen veggies
and just dump it
in the skillet, in the pan.
Little garlic, little
veggie broth or water,
aminos, maybe.
Or coconut aminos is good too. Some spices, and boom, you have like a pound of veggies.
Like 2 minutes of work.
Yeah, in a couple minutes.
Eating in like less than 15.
So convenience foods really there can be convenience foods on this lifestyle. So I definitely recommend stuff like, don't feel bad if you don't want to cut onions every day. If you want to buy a bag of organic sliced onions frozen, go for it. If you want to buy the pre-cut and washed broccoli slaw so that you don't have to get a head of broccoli and a big bag of carrots and cut them all, do that. Yeah, they will. I just told them to. Yes, they will. Don't feel bad about convenience type of stuff like that. Don't feel like you have to be like, Betty Crocker, or what's her name?
Betty Crocker,
is that right?
I believe that she made butter, so...
No. Wait, don't be like Betty Crocker.
Oh, no, that's Betty Crockett. No,
Who's Betty Crockett?
I don't know who
is that the girl that churned her... Was she sitting on that thing? She was churning her butter?
I don't know.
We don't know what we're talking about.
We don't buy butter.
Yeah. Don't feel bad about buying convenience type stuff. Pre-chopped veggies, frozen veggies. Trader Joe's has a pound of organic... washed and cut, rinsed, ready to go spinach. I cut that off and I pour that whole thing in my soup, and always add greens. So buying the convenience food, the frozen type stuff, no salt added can of beans instead of making them on your own. Whatever works for you guys that you're eating plants. Basically, that's what we want you to do.
And if there's anything that you really like, there's probably a lazy way to make it, too.
Yeah, like a quicker, easier, simpler version of it. So, Landon, this was your question, or anybody else, really. Let us know what your favorite things are, and we can help you kind of speed up that process, make a lazy version of it, or a quicker version of it.
For instance, I really love sushi, but we just make sushi in a bowl and just throw it in a bowl sometimes.
Yeah, I don't wrap any of that stuff off. I just... put all the ingredients in a bowl, and then it's a sushi bowl.
Of the time.
Yeah, and then you don't have to. Then you don't have to like roll everything up and have things falling out of the place. And
vegan sushi.
Love sushi.
Love that.
We should make some sushi bowls sometime soon.
We should.
All right, guys, we went a little bit over today. Sorry about that. I want you guys to get back to your afternoon. So feel free to keep the conversation going down below. If you have any additional questions, please let us hear them. We do hear them. We do see them. And if we don't get to all the questions on Q&A Thursdays, we will address them in some way, whether it's a YouTube video, a later tool or program or blog post or something like that. So please give us all that you have so that we can get to work on creating awesome things for you guys. We actually have some really great things cooking for our Love Chart community members. and anybody else really. So stay tuned for that. Great.
Gotta go. Busy,
Have a good Thursday, guys. Bye.
Busy, gotta go. Okay, bye.